In March 2026, the global music industry didn't just witness a comeback, it witnessed a shift. After years of waiting, speculation, and silence, BTS finally returned as a complete group, stepping back onto the stage with a presence that immediately captured worldwide attention. The Arirang comeback concert became more than just a performance. It became a global event, watched by millions across continents. But as the night unfolded, something unexpected began to happen. The focus started to narrow. The conversation began to change, and one name rose above the rest: Jungkook. What began as a highly anticipated group comeback quickly turned into something else entirely, a moment that made fans and industry observers ask a powerful question. Is Jungkook opening a new era of global dominance for BTS? It didn't take long for the signs to appear. From the very first moments of the performance, Jungkook's presence stood out, not in a way that overshadowed the group, but in a way that anchored it. His vocals were not only stable, they were commanding. Every note carried clarity, control, and emotional weight. Even in the most complex parts of the performance, his delivery remained consistent, reinforcing his reputation as one of the strongest live vocalists in the industry. But it wasn't just about technique, it was about impact. Fans quickly noticed that key moments in the performance, choruses, climaxes, emotional transitions, consistently revolved around Jungkook. Whether through camera focus or vocal arrangement, his presence became a central force. And in a global event of this scale, that kind of positioning matters. Within minutes of the concert beginning, social media platforms began to react. Jungkook's name started trending worldwide. Clips of his performance spread rapidly across TikTok, X, and YouTube, accumulating millions of views in record time. Fans from different countries shared the same reactions, despite language differences. He feels different. This is a new level. He's controlling the stage. The consistency of these reactions revealed something important. This wasn't just fan excitement, it was recognition. Recognition of growth, recognition of presence, recognition of dominance. One of the most discussed aspects of Jungkook's performance was how much he had changed. His movements were sharper, more intentional. His expressions carried a level of maturity that reflected years of experience. His confidence was no longer something that needed to be proven. It was simply there, visible, unshakable. For many fans, this transformation felt like a turning point. This was no longer just Jungkook, the youngest member. This was Jungkook, the global artist. Throughout BTS's history, certain members naturally take center positions during key moments. In this comeback, that gravitational pull seemed to lean heavily toward Jungkook. Fans began to notice a pattern. When the performance reached its peak, the camera often returned to him. When the song demanded emotional intensity, his voice carried it. When the stage required impact, his presence delivered it. This phenomenon, often referred to by fans as the center effect, was not new. But this time, it felt stronger, more defined, more intentional. Beyond fan reactions, early engagement data supported what many were already feeling. Videos featuring Jungkook's performance segments quickly outperformed others in terms of views and shares. Search trends spiked dramatically around his name. Online discussions across multiple platforms showed a clear pattern. Jungkook was leading the conversation. In today's digital-driven industry, attention is currency, and Jungkook was generating it at an extraordinary level. The timing of this moment is also significant. BTS is entering a new chapter, often referred to by fans as a new era following military service and individual growth. The expectations are high, not just for music, but for direction. Who will shape the sound? Who will lead the narrative? Who will define the next phase? Jungkook's current position places him at the center of these questions, not officially, but organically. It's not just fans who are paying attention. Industry professionals have begun analyzing the comeback in detail. Performance quality, audience engagement, and global reach are all being evaluated, and Jungkook's name continues to appear in these discussions. His ability to connect with a wide audience, combined with his proven track record, positions him as a key figure in BTS's future strategy. In a highly competitive global market, that kind of influence is critical. The idea that Jungkook could be leading a new era of BTS does not necessarily mean a formal role. Instead, it reflects something more subtle: influence, presence, impact. Leadership in modern music isn't always about titles, it's about who shapes the narrative. And right now, Jungkook is shaping it. As the excitement continues to build, one question remains at the center of global conversation. Is this the beginning of a new era of dominance led by Jungkook? There is no official answer, no confirmation, no announcement, but the signs are there, visible, measurable, growing. What happened during BTS's 2026 comeback was more than a return. It was a signal, a shift in attention, a shift in energy, and possibly a shift in power. At the center of that shift stands Jungkook, not just as a performer, not just as a member of BTS, but as an artist who may be opening the door to BTS's next chapter of global dominance. And as the world continues to watch, one thing is certain: this story is only just beginning. Why him? Why now? Because what happened during BTS's Iranian comeback wasn't random. It wasn't a coincidence created by camera angles or temporary hype. It was the result of something that had been building quietly for years. And now it is becoming visible on a global scale. In today's music industry, attention is measurable, and when analysts began reviewing the aftermath of the comeback concert, the numbers told a clear story. Content featuring Jungkook consistently outperformed other segments. His performance clips gained higher engagement rates. Search trends linked to his name surged across multiple regions simultaneously. Even beyond fan communities, general audiences were engaging with his content, watching, sharing, reacting. This matters because in a global digital ecosystem, attention is not evenly distributed. It concentrates. And right now, that concentration is leaning toward Jungkook. One of Jungkook's greatest strengths is his ability to connect beyond traditional K-pop boundaries. His voice, style, and stage presence translate across cultures. Listeners who may not fully understand Korean lyrics still respond to his tone, emotion, and delivery. This kind of universal appeal is rare, and in an era where global success depends on cross-market reach, it becomes a powerful advantage. For BTS, this means something significant. Jungkook is not just representing the group, he is expanding its reach. There is a subtle shift happening in how Jungkook is perceived. He is no longer seen only as a performer within BTS. He is becoming a symbol of its evolution. Fans and media alike are beginning to associate him with the group's transition into a new era, one that reflects maturity, global integration, and artistic growth. This kind of symbolic role cannot be assigned. It develops naturally, and once established, it becomes incredibly influential. While data explains visibility, emotion explains loyalty, and Jungkook's performance created a strong emotional response across the global fan base. Fans described feeling proud, moved, even overwhelmed. For longtime followers, his transformation represents years of growth finally coming into full view. For newer audiences, it presents a compelling entry point into BTS. This dual appeal, both nostalgic and fresh, is rare, and it creates momentum that goes beyond a single performance. Despite the growing focus on Jungkook, it's important to understand that BTS remains a group built on balance. Each member contributes a unique element: vocals, rap, performance, personality. However, within that balance, certain members naturally take on more visible roles during specific eras. Right now, Jungkook appears to be stepping into one of those moments, not by replacing others, but by amplifying the group's overall impact. This distinction matters because BTS's strength has always been unity, and Jungkook's rising influence is working within that structure, not against it. As BTS re-enters the global spotlight, industry professionals are paying close attention to individual contributions. Producers, collaborators, and music executives are analyzing which elements of the comeback resonate most with audiences. Jungkook's name continues to appear in these discussions. His adaptability across genres, combined with his strong audience connection, positions him as a valuable figure for future projects. This opens up possibilities, collaborations, creative direction, global campaigns, all of which could further strengthen BTS's position in the industry. One performance can create hype, but repeated impact creates patterns, and Jungkook's trajectory is beginning to form one. From his solo success to his current comeback performance, the indicators are aligning. Attention, engagement, influence, each one reinforcing the other. If this pattern continues, it could define not just his role, but BTS's direction moving forward. What began as a long-awaited comeback has quickly transformed into something much larger, a global moment, a cultural reset, a turning point. And at the center of it all stands Jungkook, not as a replacement for BTS's identity, but as a force shaping its next chapter. The signs are there, in the data, in the reactions, in the attention that continues to grow with each passing moment. But perhaps the most powerful sign is something less measurable. It's the feeling shared by millions of fans worldwide, the sense that something has changed, that this is not just the continuation of the past, but the beginning of something new. For BTS, this comeback marks the start of a new era. For Jungkook, it may mark the moment where influence turns into leadership. And for the global music industry, it raises a question that will define the months ahead. Is this the era where Jungkook helps BTS into an even greater level of global dominance? The answer has not been officially declared, but if the current momentum is any indication, we may already be witnessing it.